In this video, we're going to be making blueberry lemon hand pies. These hand pies are made up of 3 components. We have the pâte brisée, or the basic pie crust, the blueberry filling or compote, and a lemon glaze. We're going to start by making the pâte brisée so it can chill in the refrigerator. Start by placing a few ice cubes in a small bowl and pour in about a cup of water. Next, we're going to measure out 2.5 cups of all-purpose flour. To accurately measure the flour, scoop it into a cup and level it off with a knife. Add 1 teaspoon of salt to your mixing bowl. I'm using kosher salt here. Add 1 tablespoon of sugar. Thoroughly whisk all these ingredients together until the salt and the sugar are distributed throughout the flour. Cut 2 sticks of very cold butter into small cubes. It's important that you purchase the very best butter that you can, one that has a high fat content. Because butter is the main ingredient in this dough, it's going to make all the difference. Add the 2 sticks of butter to the dry ingredients. Here, I'm going to use my KitchenAid to cut the butter into the dry ingredients. You can also use a food processor or a pastry cutter. Mix on high until your flour and butter resemble coarse cornmeal. There should be some chunks of butter, and that's what you want. It's those chunks of butter that are going to give flakiness to the crust. Turn the mixer down to medium speed. Slowly add in the ice water, about a tablespoon at a time. Continue to add the ice water until the dough starts to stick together but doesn't form one large clump. Dump the dough onto a piece of saran wrap. It's going to be in crumbles, and that's exactly what you want. Form those crumbles together using your hands and the saran wrap. Form the dough into a small disc. Wrap the dough completely in the saran wrap and place it in the refrigerator to chill. While the pâte brisée chills, we're going to make our blueberry filling. To make the filling, start by adding 2 cups of blueberries to a medium-sized pot. Pour filtered water into the pot until it covers the blueberries. Add half a cup of sugar, followed by the zest of half a lemon. Give the blueberry mixture a quick stir and bring to a boil. Once the mixtures come to a roaring boil, turn the flame off. Combine 2 tablespoons of cornstarch and 2 tablespoons of cold water in a small bowl. Stir until all the cornstarch is dissolved and the mixture resembles milk. Add the cornstarch mixture to the blueberries and stir. Turn the flame on medium-high while stirring constantly, bring to a boil for 1 minute. Immediately remove the blueberries from the heat and allow them to cool. Before we move on to the next step, set your oven to 375 degrees. We're going to be using a basic egg wash for the assembly of our hand pies and also to finish our hand pies off to give them a nice golden brown color. To make the egg wash, whisk 2 eggs and 2 tablespoons of heavy cream in a bowl. To make sure that the egg wash is perfectly smooth, run it through a sieve. Now we're going to start assembling the hand pies. The first thing you want to do is remove the pâte brisée from the refrigerator and let it sit out for about 10 to 15 minutes. Once your dough is softened slightly, dust your countertop and roll the dough out to 1/8 of an inch. Once the dough is rolled out, it's time to cut your shapes. I'm making these to resemble Pop-Tarts, so I'm going to use this rectangular cutter to cut the shapes. Set aside half of your rectangles for the top of the hand pies and half for the bottom. Using a fork, prick holes in the bottom pieces. To prepare each hand pie, brush the edges with the prepared egg wash, and then take about 1 to 2 tablespoons of the blueberry filling and put it directly in the center. Now gently place the top layer of dough over the filling. Using your fingers, gently press around the edges of the hand pie, creating a seal. I'm using a cutter and a mold here specifically designed to make these look like Pop-Tarts, but you can use any cutter and really any shape. Continue to repeat these steps until you've used all of your dough, placing each of the hand pies on a cookie sheet covered with parchment paper. Lightly brush the hand pies with the prepared egg wash, being sure to cover the entire surface. Place the hand pies into your preheated 375 degree oven for 30 minutes. While the hand pies bake, we're going to prepare the glaze. Start by adding 3 cups of powdered sugar to a large mixing bowl. Zest and juice 1 lemon into the same bowl. Add 2 tablespoons of heavy cream to the bowl and begin to whisk. You're going to want to continue to add heavy cream until the mixture resembles syrup. Once the hand pies are done and a beautiful golden brown, we're going to remove them from the oven and place them on a wire rack to cool completely. Once the hand pies have cooled, generously cover in glaze. For some added texture, I like to finish mine off with sprinkles. So there you have it. It's the Blueberry Lemon Hand Pie. When you take a bite, you should have the sweet and tart lemon glaze, followed by the flaky and buttery pate brisee, and then the slightly sweet blueberry filling. It makes for the perfect hand pie.